All right, we're back. Choke Artist Podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm going to tell you right now, subscribe to this podcast. I'm only going to do it when I feel like it. You don't need to fucking hear me have opinions every week. I don't think you need to hear anyone have opinions every week.
Word.
I feel like there's too much of that out there. But my guest today, I felt like would be an interesting person to have on, just based on things I've heard and seen, actually.
Okay.
So, Bentwaeve.
Yes, that is correct.
What's your what names do you like perform under?
Bentwaeve, and there's NGGA.
NGGA.
What's it like cursing on this? Do you
Say
curse?
whatever you want.
Okay, NGGA or nigga is the pronunciation, but that was like a performance art piece.
Okay.
That project, because only certain people could say the name, and then everyone would be weirded out. They'd be like, "How do I rep this?" And I'd be like, "You got caught out, dude."
I saw one of your sets. I saw the first 15 minutes of it, and then my ride had left. But it was 15 minutes of you hyping the crowd.
Oh, okay. When and where was this?
This is probably this past year actually, and it was I think Roach Motel.
Okay, yeah.
And it was I think a battle they did.
It was a battle of the bands?
Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That one was probably the most fun I can remember.
Yeah. So is a lot of that performance, or when you perform under NGGA, is it usually trying to mess with the crowd in some ways, or?
NGGA, I'm usually beating people up, so that'll be at the hardcore shows, I'll do the NGGA. And then I think it was one time my friend LaRoche, We Sing Sin, he was a rapper, he was sad about some romance drama, and then he was in the corner. I didn't know this, but I was just intoxicated as well. But I just turned around at the beginning of my set. As soon as the breakdown started, I just turned around, kicked him right in the balls and shit. So people will be ready for that, but he wasn't ready for it. But generally, I've been known to drop kick the crowd, and then people would either move or just get hit, and it's cool. It starts a pit.
Yeah, I think that energy, as long as people are open to it, is totally fine too.
Yeah. Usually they're open to it. There's one time this girl got a panic attack, but I didn't even do anything. I just backed up. I just backed up into the crowd.
And she freaked out?
Yeah, she was out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a strong believer that you should be able to kick your friend's ass at a show. At the
That's fun.
Yeah, open it up. So a lot of when you perform under that is just kind of raw energy stuff, and do you improvise a lot of it, or?
I'll improvise essentially all of the crowd work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not going to practice it. I'm at home speaking to an invisible crowd. I don't like practicing in general.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's something that it depends on the environment that you're in.
Yeah, totally.
Like you said, you can't do it alone.
Yeah, it's just weird.
But yeah, so the time I saw you, it was 50, 10 minutes of just you starting your set, but getting, and you had someone else with you too, but
oh yeah, it was Josh.
Yeah. So getting the crowd ready, and then I feel in the audience they were waiting for it to start, and it hadn't yet, and you were just still hyping.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it was really good. So what's the purpose of you doing stuff like that?
That is usually to set an ambiance or a vibe, and while doing it, at times I'll have to prime the crowd or give them some information that the content of the songs is not going to be my actual philosophy. It's supposed to be a project. So the NGGA thing started as a project on Faulkner. It was a senior seminar. So I do analytic philosophy and English lit at Rutgers, just right down the block. And that was in an English course on Faulkner, antebellum author. And he created this township called Beat 4 in Jefferson, Alabama or something, where it was supposed to be the most racist town ever. A lot of lynchings went on there. And the NGGA project was supposed to be this sort of mythical creature who was the most racist white guy and the most misogynist white guy and black guy at the same time, an ignorant person of all time. And they just called him NGGA. So that was that. So everything I'm saying is supposed to be horrific.
So just kind of encompassing hatred and
Yeah, it's supposed to be that. And
yeah.
So when I do that, because I just say a lot of slurs and pejoratives in the songs, but usually in a weird usage that makes it lose the traditional usage of these curses. So it's not clear, but if people don't know that, then they'll be like, the hell is this guy's problem?
How so? What's a questionable line? A line that someone might find.
The beginning of this one song, Ho Bamba, the line is, tell that bitch she's my property. And they're oh.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
It's what the hell?
What's funny, though, is I feel 15 years ago, maybe even like 10 years. No, it's 2019. I'd say like early 2000s, late 90s in rap. That was like almost like borderline what some people were saying.
Yeah, people still say stuff like that.
Yeah, it's still definitely happening. But I think like knowing that it's a character, I guess you would call it, it kind of adds an interesting spin to it.
Yeah, I got one line in this one song, All Right, and the whole song is Shut Up, Bitch, It's All Right. And that's basically it. And I just say it in different inflections and tones and melodies. And then at the end of it, I was like, but is it all right? Or am I just a complete and total asshole? And I like doing stuff like that because then it gives it away. It's like, oh, wait a second. No, this guy's probably just an asshole.
Yeah, people are in on the fun at least.
Yeah, it's pretty
so,
fun.
So you started that from like a school thing?
Yeah, it was a school project. Because before I would freestyle every now and then, but I had no project and no name. This was like 2015 or so. And then when that started, then I started doing shows. And that was cool. And it's from the beginning because the nature of the content was so in your face. And I would choose these very obscure UK drill beats before I started producing my own stuff. And that would just make it such that they were pitched from the start, so it was cool.
Yeah, neat. So as a producer, do you find, how do you feel about most people making beats now?
They kind of suck. I'm not going to lie.
It's hard. Yeah, I don't know. I was listening to a lot of like those YouTube full streams of like lo-fi beats to study relax. This is like 3 years ago, and then like eventually I was like, I don't know what any of these songs are. It just all became one thing.
It's one continuous song.
Yeah, like a jazz sample with like boom bap kick and snare. Maybe not even sometimes just like some like real basic shit at times.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's tough. Yeah,
it's all the same guy as well.
Yeah, right. That's like Katy Perry has. There's like a few producers that for like mainstream pop artists, and they do like 15 artists.
Yeah, the same miserable oracle doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, what we do is completely different than that, and I think like I from what I listened to and like what I saw, like I appreciate that you are an artist. I don't know why I'm putting this in quotes, but like you're doing something different. You're not like playing the part of like, oh, what's up, like. Follow me on SoundCloud or Twitter.
Oh yeah, I don't really do that.
Yeah, I've been feeling this way recently about going to shows, and every band I see or anyone I see, especially on like a local level, it's like I'm watching a commercial sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I was at a show over the weekend, and it was all friends, so I'm not gonna shit on them. But at the same time, there was like a 5-minute part of each one where everyone's like, "Hey, here's my Instagram handle, here's my YouTube, here's my Facebook." I'll give that information out if requested, because usually that'll happen. They're like, "Where can we find you?" I'm like, "You find me here, standing in a random basement." I like that. Like fortuitous times, you have to search, you have to find out on a bill. It's kind of ancient, but I'm not gonna just sit there and just pitch myself.
Yeah, I feel that. I like that answer though, dude. Like, where can we find you? Right here, right now, in the moment.
Word, yeah, mindfulness.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think you need to tell the crowd if you're on Spotify. I think they'll find out. People are smart enough to use their phones to do everything.
Yeah,
else.
word.
Yeah.
Spotify kind of sucks. I don't like it. I don't want to put my stuff out through some random distro kid or something because they own your music in that point.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do the Spotify thing. It's convenient for people, but it's not convenient for the artists at all.
No, you don't get paid shit either.
Yeah, you don't get paid a penny.
Yeah.
Penny per stream.
It's like a fraction of a penny.
It's rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
So, I mean, the whole landscape of music has changed, and it's still going to change like really drastically. So I think it's cool. You just kind of do your thing.
Totally. Yeah.
So are you trying to do less of the NGGA stuff now?
I've put that on the shelf kind of and just infuse it all into Bentwaeve because NGGA is not the most commercially viable in the sense of getting booked was difficult at times.
Why?
Because like you'd have a bunch of racists running venues, and then most of my crowd is going to be white just because I'm at Rutgers right now, and most of the people I know are white.
And it's funny because it's like, I mean, if you look at like the demographics of Rutgers as a whole, I'd say it's like very mixed. But like the basement scene,
it's
fucking white.
It's white as hell.
Yeah.
And people don't know that, but there's one show my friend was trying to book me at Brighton Bar, and then the owner was like, "NGGA, I don't really want that kind of crowd in here." And I was like, "You're gonna see white college students, dude. You're not gonna see him." But it's funny. I like the name. It was supposed to do that, but it worked almost too well.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say stigmatizing because like that. I don't know. Like, it definitely is going to make people feel away.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. When I first saw it, like, I saw you in Bill somewhere. I'm like, yo, that's actually kind of tight. That, like,
yeah.
Because I think it takes, I don't know. guts or like a willingness to break balls to do
Totally,
something like
yeah,
that?
yeah. It's fun. I like it. I kind of liked it better than Bentwaeve at times. But I like Bentwaeve a lot because I do all the stuff in Bentwaeve. But with that, it was fun. Yeah, it was just fun.
Did you
I don't know where I was going.
have you like, and this is gonna be me being an oblivious white guy, but like, do you encounter like a lot of blatant racism, or do you notice more like subtle things?
It's more subtle these days.
Yeah.
Idiots will be blatant. Like I had this one coworker. This wasn't a part of the NGGA project, but this was the most blatant I probably received in a long time. It's just like, oh, Radcliffe, you took off your coat and you drank one of our shift drinks, which everyone's entitled to after you clocked in. That is time theft. And I was like, what the fuck? What am I, Alex right here? And I was like, out of over 30 people on the staff, how are you just going to single the one black guy out?
Because you drank something.
Yeah, you're like, you drank a drink.
So I'm fucking thirsty.
That is time theft. I was like, kid, time theft. You're the king of time theft. All you do is sit in the back and play with toys all day. Fucking Nick.
Yeah, that's wild. I never even heard that term, time theft.
It's so obscure. And I was like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Try to pursue this.
But that was from someone who wasn't in like the music scene. That was
They
just
weren't in the music scene. They're not even in the thinking scene.
Yeah.
But in the music scene, the most is people associating me with abusers or whatnot, or people who've committed crimes because they might know me. And then I don't hang out with them at all. But the person will comment on my stuff. And then I'll be like, all right, dude. I won't say anything to it. But then they'll be like, oh, Radcliffe associates with abusers. And they'll do this at a disproportionate rate to other white people who might share the person in their story all the time. And be like, hey, it's my bro. Yeah, we're hanging out. Nothing happens to them. They're fine. But me, as a random, they're like, people will comment on my stuff. They'll be like, don't hang out with abusers and you'll get booked. I was like, wait, who is this person? I don't hang out with these people.
Yeah. It's not possible to do a background check on everyone online.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I'll just notice there'll be a sharper intolerance for everything I do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the new racism. Because people are looking for an excuse to blackball you for some reason. Pardon the pun. So that's the main thing.
Almost like you're on like thinner ice. In some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, because I'd imagine like, I mean, in some ways I feel like sometimes when people try to be too progressive, it can be off-putting if they don't do it like in the right way too.
They have no training. They don't know what's going on. The most they might know is that they can theoretically cancel someone, or if even not even do it consciously. That's the other part. And they'll do it for weird reasons. There'll be certain people who are just filled with avarice, malice, and vitriol, and they might be borderline psychotic. I've experienced this before.
Yeah.
But they'll use their identity as this sort of cape, and they'll keep all naysayers and all evildoers out. But it's not clear if the person's terribly unwell, and they are like a beacon of hope in the scene. There's one very racist person. I won't give the name, but they are supposed to be doing a lot for black people. They're not black. They're not black at all. But they're supposed to be like a shining knight of throwing black shows. And they hate me because I'm apparently creepy. Because I asked, no, we used to flirt regularly. And they came to me. They were the aggressor. And they would say shit like, hey, let's hang out in private and not at shows because there's things we can't do, wink, wink,
Sure.
at shows.
Yeah.
And then one day I called a friend out for being racist. And like, Radcliffe has made me uncomfortable several times. And they've done this to several other women. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's hard when the whole dialogue, the whole narrative can change just when someone feels like it.
Yeah.
And then people are going to take their word for it.
Yeah, they just took the word.
It's like, how can you not? You know?
And there was other people in the show scene because this is like a 5-year period. And, of course, I've asked people out before. Politely, very respectful. I'm very aware that I'm black. And I'm very aware that there is an entire history starting from early in America's foundation when there was black people out, when slaves were freed, when slaves were not around, of just sexualization of black people, particularly black males as well, and being this, creepy aggressor. I've been aware as shit of this.
Yeah.
So I tread on very thin ice. I'll be very polite, and I'll be like I'll be on ice skates. And the ice skates will weigh, they'll weigh 1 pound maybe. And I will weigh 1 pound as well. And I'll be aware of this, and I'll be like, hey, what's up, and that's it, or some shit. I'll be like, hi, my name is Radcliffe. And they'll be like, hey, that guy said hi to me once. What an asshole. And this was big. But I had friends because people knew me because I had been around, and they'd be like, this guy's not creepy at all. And so I had to do counter PR work. But I'm always doing PR work for myself.
Yeah. It gets tricky online, man.
That's the most racist, though. The most racist is this sort of weird interpersonal racial sexual dynamic that you have to skirt around, I think.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm not very good at being social, but I found that like some people too, like especially in like the tri-state, a lot of people are like kind of closed off to interactions at time too. So maybe like talking to people sometimes they're just like scared in some ways.
Yeah, everyone's scared. It's rough when you come in black as well, because I used to do mosh pits. And the same thing. This is when I started. I used to like blackout drunk at a Pine Grove show. That was funny. But everyone loved me for it. Except if people didn't know me, and they're like, this guy's kind of weird. He's kind of making me uncomfortable. Yeah. Then they would look at everyone, and they're like, oh, wait a second. This guy's one of us. He's an oddball out. And there's one kid. He was in a prominent band. It's like, there's something about that Radcliffe guy. I just don't like him. Something about him. And then my friend was like, he's black? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't even, like, imagine the level of, like, just, like, I don't know. Because I'm sure at this point, like, some of it is just easy to brush off in a lot of ways because it's like, all right, you're gonna do that. That's what's been happening to me for a long time.
Yeah, you just have to.
It's gotta be long. It's gotta be still kind of like wear you down in some ways, though.
It does, yeah. You kind of get used to it. There's like this 6-month period after a major traumatic event or positive event where your personality or mood state might change, but then it goes back to a baseline. So if your baseline is being met with all this avarice and maliciousness under whatever colors, pardon the pun, then you just get used to it. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to do PR work for myself. I'm aware that there's this weird hypersexualization of me that I kind of have to be aware of.
Do you think it's part of it's because your music, too?
I guess it's rap music at times. It's not even rap music. But people tell me it's rap music when it's not.
The newer stuff, yeah.
It's not rap music.
No, yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, it's great rapper. And I'll be like, dude, just say I'm black.
So you mentioned doing PR work for yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like kind of going online and making amends, or like?
I'll just be very polite, over polite at times, and then if it's
in person, online, and both.
Everywhere, unless I'm like calling people out for calling me out or calling people out in general. That sounds bad. The way I phrase that sounds bad. But if it's completely psychotic, which has been the case in the past, is what I was trying to get at. You have psychotic racists, and they exist. They might not be actually psychotic. They might be borderline. They might be sociopathic. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist, so I can't give an accurate clinical diagnosis. But what I can say is that there are idiots about, and they might be mentally unwell, physically unwell, and mental supervenes on the physical. Because I do philosophy of mind and cognitive science. So I have some credentials.
Yeah.
And when I see behaviors that do not line up with the outside world, and when it's a case that when you're looking for a scapegoat, we find outliers. So we have people that we outgroup, and the brain does that. I'm part of that. I'm part of an outgroup just by the fact of being black, 14% of the population. I'll be aware of this. And so I'll be like, hey, there's going to be these maniacs roaming about, and they're probably going to be in basements for some reason due to different sociopolitical realities. If I encounter them, I have to be very sharp. So I have to be sharp with all these people who are going to be drunk, and they're not going to remember things well, and they're going to find a reason to hate black people.
It's like you're being tested every time.
Yeah, every freaking time I go in the damn basement, there's some asshole, and I just got to be like, hey, I'm the nicest guy here.
Yeah.
And then when that shit went down, people were like, Radcliffe, he's the nicest, most respectful guy I met. That sounded like Donald Trump there, but
great guy. No, yeah, I think like it's funny because you said 13 to 14% of the population, but like in a basement show, it's probably like 1%.
Yeah, you're looking at 0.03.
Yeah. So, how do you think there can be more inclusiveness?
People got to stop just booking their friends, because if you're just a white dick, you're going to be friends with white dicks. That's what usually happens. Like new pop punk show, new indie show, we're booking like 20 of them through the summer. Nobody's booking, and they don't book black. I'm theoretically friends with these people as well, but I just have a large social circle. What the hell? Social circle.
Sure.
And they have to be aware of this. Like the one person that I got into beef with, it started the whole creep narrative. It didn't have to do anything with talking to women. This was the funny part. This is how it all started. The person was a white woman. She hopped on a bill that I was booked on, and she was like, "Hey, there's no women on this bill. Don't invite me to this ever." And I was like, "Hey, okay. However, is it the case that you book with the same ferocity? Do you book people of color on your bills? Is there a logical concurrence there where I can say I can hop on an all-woman bill?" I was like, this would look kind of fucked up if I did this, though, wouldn't it? She gave a thought experiment, and I was like, hey, there's no black people on this all-woman bill. What the fuck? You guys are assholes. Never invite me. And I was like, come on, that would be kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
This is an all people of color bill, and there's like mad all white bills you could have focused your attack on. They didn't do this. And so I was like, hey, try to be intersectional. And then they're like, okay, after a while. And I was like, let's clap. And then they just unfriended me. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And then I would talk to their friend, and their friend contacted me. And they just deflected after. I was like, this was pretty racist and pretty naive is a better word.
Sure.
And biased to an extent. And they're like, oh, you're a creep. And I was like,
yeah. I mean, all that. It seemed to spiral fast. As far as inclusiveness on shows, I mean, it's 100% possible. And I had Kyle from the band Steve on.
Oh, word.
And he was talking about this too, but it's like, I feel like it shouldn't be forced. Like, it shouldn't be like a token thing ever.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
There should be an effort made for sure. And
it
like,
doesn't seem like anyone's trying.
What happened?
It doesn't seem like anyone's trying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to meet black people or people of color. I separate them purposefully. But you have to meet these people first. Go to their shows, because I've been throwing a lot of them recently with locals, and a lot of them, they're all black almost. But all the white people, they don't go to them. It's like, you got to go to these shows the same way if you want to get booked, that you go to shows, theoretically at least.
You have to be a part of the community.
Yeah, you have to be part of the damn community. You can't just be a part of a white community, because that looks pretty racist. If everyone there is white and you don't reach out to anyone else. But they're in this weird circle jerk, this weird nexus of whiteness and indie shows. And if you're not a part of it, you kind of can't be a part of it. Even if you try. I used to try pretty hard. I used to go there, like at the Pine Grove shows. But it was so terrible. I hated it the whole time. That's why I used to just drink there. And I was just create mosh pits at a Pine Grove show.
It's fucking great. Yeah, I feel like it would only make things better if things were more mixed. I find, and this is my personal opinion as someone who doesn't listen to a lot of that music, I get fucking bored. It's
bad.
Yeah.
The music is bad.
Maybe like occasionally I'll put some shit like that, but I don't know. I feel like I want to go to shows to have a good time and enjoy myself. So it's more so the music I gravitate to, and this is purely my preferences. But I feel like when it feels like it's a click, it's wrong. Like,
it's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they book the same bands. And the bands aren't good, but they somehow get booked everywhere. There's people that go about and just ask rampantly for shows. That doesn't seem to work. I've never tried it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
we gotta hope that, because at this point I'm 29, so I'm like 8 years out of being in college and like being in I still play shows in New Brunswick, but I would feel weird messaging a fucking 19-year-old kid like, hey, what's up? Can I come over and like bring my drums and come meet my friends? So like, I'm always fortunate that there are people that are still in tune to the music shit I'm doing that will have us, and I'm always just glad I can still be part of it, because I think there's an awesome potential and like for New Brunswick, and there is a strong community. It certainly has flaws in some aspects.
Totally, yeah.
But there's potential, and it's just like, just strive to be better at what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. The prescription I got from a friend, because he used to book in town, but he just moved out of his show house. The way he put it was that the future of the scene's in your hands, dude. And I was like, wait a second, why does it have to be in my hands? It's like just do it yourself type stuff. I might get a job at this undisclosed location. Well, fuck it, it's Chamber 43. I might get a job doing event coordination there.
They've been having a lot of good shit there.
That would be
doing
cool.
Punk and hardcore shows too, which I never thought they would do there.
Yeah, if I get booked over there, then I would do a lot of that. If I get the position there, I'll just do all punk, hardcore, and electronic stuff. Make a rule, no indie stuff, or maybe just a little bit.
Well, I'm sure no matter what, they'll have some of that there, because it's it's a night. That's a nice night for some people. Like, go to the record shop and like.
Yeah, totally.
Like, and not to say this as an insult, but it's like safe.
Totally, yeah.
So,
above ground, no vampires.
I'm all for everyone having a voice.
Except indie kids. They get no voice.
We're declaring war on indie rock right here, right now. But the new stuff you're doing is a little softer, I'd say.
Yeah, people make comparisons to Animal Collective. I don't like it because I don't like Animal Collective and I don't listen to them.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with them, to be honest.
They suck. It's like 10 randos.
It's
I don't even know what it
It's
is.
like Brooklyn electronic rock.
It's just gross. I'm just going to say it's gross.
Yeah. So
Animal Collective, we could declare war on you this day.
Shots fired. What do you try to capture with the new stuff you do?
Kind of the spirit of Kingdom Hearts. Kind of, I don't know why. I've never thought about this. I just made one video with a Kingdom Hearts scenery in it. Random aesthetic gifs. I like the colors blue and pink put together, like cotton candy type stuff. It's sort of like a dream, not DreamWorks. I'm not trying to bring in Shrek here. I just do random shit. I'm just say like that. I do random shit.
Yeah. Well,
But I try to get like cool. There's this band Night Jewel that I try to emulate at times. It's like this cool synth pop 80s inspired band. I'll look at that. What else inspires me? Like Better Off Alone, Al's DJ stuff, early 90s dance stuff. I try to put that 80s and 90s together and then put a little bit of like Kingdom Hearts music, like Utada Hikaru type shit. I sound like a weeb. I never think about my influences like that. But
Yeah.
It's just random.
Yeah. Well, you want it to be true to who you are. So
Totally.
do the shit you like. You know, don't play the part of like, oh well, people are doing this, so I got to do this.
Yeah, I don't. I do the opposite. People are doing that, so I'm gonna do something random.
Yeah, it seemed from what I saw, from what I like checked out online, it seemed like you were just being you on
Yeah,
it, which I
random
appreciate.
shit.
I appreciate when people can do that and be true to like themselves and their music or art or whatever. But you make your stuff like on your computer?
Yeah, I use GarageBand just because I have no other software. But I figure I use this method. This is what my brother did. He got a pretty big following producing. We both did the same because we have shitty ass hardware. But our thing is like if we can make it sound good on terrible hardware and terrible software, then we can do it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I used to mix on the iPhone, and then they have actually better equipment.
Like GarageBand on your iPhone?
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
They have good 808s. That's all I care about there.
Yeah.
But they have some good synths as well. You have to kind of do it. You have to kind of make it yourself. So I made some good instruments on it. But getting it to sound good there, and I can usually get it to sound good on like a car speaker or somewhere else that people are going to test it. Because half the people are going to listen to it on their phones as well.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But that's usually what I do. I just test random shit out.
Yeah.
And I'll try to make synths that sound like an arcade. Yeah, that's right. I should usually go for arcadey noises.
Cool.
And usually I can get them.
But not like 8-bit, not like Game Boy, like more like
a bit more advanced.
Yeah, like
Game Boy shit is played out. So what am I, Animal Crossing?
Yeah, for real. It's funny. I feel like I brought this up on another podcast, but there's a Red Bull like interview that they did with Madlib, and they're asking him like, "What do you use to make your albums?" And he just says like, "Yeah, it's not what you use, it's what you make." And like, yeah, it's not like you can do. He was like, I did this one album on like a fucking $20 recorder with one overhead mic and mic the drum set, and it was like, I think it was the album where he like chopped up a bunch of like Stevie Wonder shit or something. But
dope.
It's not like people can fucking jerk off about gear all day.
Yeah,
I'm a drummer, so anytime someone starts talking about anything electronic, even my brain turned like dude, setting this podcast rig up. The first time I did it was a challenge, and there's 2 ports on it. Like, what am I doing? So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just make shit that you like, and yeah, you gotta be hip to your software, whatever you're using. You gotta know how to use it, obviously.
Yeah, that can be done. I don't subscribe to Malcolm Gladwell because there was a study I was reading on it because he has that stupid theory where he's like, 10,000 hours of work, you just have to do that. And there's a study that came out just completely sort of encompassing and then throwing that out.
Oh, like 10,000 hours of work to be a master at your craft?
Yes, that's not true. They're like, you have 10,000 hours of work is okay. However, to be a genetic outlier and just to be good naturally at things is usually what happens. And they're like, so if you're looking at Usain Bolt, for instance, he's just, he's like 7 feet tall basically, and he's a genetic freak. Yeah. He doesn't have to do 10,000 hours. Yeah. He's just plainly
kind of born to do that.
Yeah, he's just naturally advantaged and is adapted and well fit to the environment of doing sprints.
See, but I think you can be born like predisposed to a lot of talent and still
You
just
still
be
suck.
or be lazy.
Yeah, totally.
You just be like, fuck, I know I'm great, and that's it, and just be content with that.
Yeah, that will negate your music will still suck
Yeah.
if you do that. I kind of just put in a shit ton of hours, but to me it's fun.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't feel like work when you enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
You're just doing what you have to do.
Sometimes I take shortcuts. It'll get me a different sound. So if I don't want, sometimes like I have a bunch of friends who are professional sound engineers, and they'll be like, "Dude, just send me your stuff," or they'll be like, "Hey, I know engineers, just send me stems." But exporting stems on a shitty ass computer on GarageBand is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I prefer not to do that. That's what I do it myself, basically, because I don't want to sit there and export things for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Do you play stuff in on like keyboard, or you like do it all with like loops and stuff?
Oh, I play stuff. I
Cool.
prefer to play stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Because what I heard, and I checked out like maybe 3 or 4 songs, but there was like synth-driven ideas.
Yeah, I usually do that myself.
Tight. Yeah.
Because the synth loops just they suck. I'm not gonna lie.
It's basic. Yeah. Yeah.
There's one song I got a good synth loop, but I just modified it, modified the shit out of it.
Nice. Yeah. Make it your own.
Yeah, totally.
Put on it. So what are your like? What do you plan to? I feel I don't know if this is a good question, but what do you plan to achieve with this project, or like what are aspirations or goals?
Hopefully someone buys it at least. The last EP I did, nobody bought it at all.
Yeah.
The one I did 2 times ago, it was like these random, one dude in Canada, and then the other dude in like the Middle East bought it, and for like a total of $100.
Wait, really?
Just 2 of them, yeah. They're my meme friends.
Okay.
So there's one song I'm supposed to be doing Water with, but it's the Canadian dude. I don't get it because he just rapped a cappella in his car, in his Camry, on his phone mic, and I just put it over like this reggae sample that I looped. And there's not much going on, but that could probably generate more capital. I'm not saying my goal is to generate capital, but that's a goal. Someone finds it worth buying as some sort of indicator of success.
Yeah.
But I got a friend, Locos Disparos. He's doing some stuff. He's going to make like this anime video. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I don't really have goals. That's weird.
Yeah.
I just want to finish the damn thing because I've been putting so much work into it. And I go song by song, and it'll be like the song's never finished. But when I finish it, it's cool.
You're working on like a full album right now?
Yeah, full album. Because
Okay.
I did the EP. That was cool.
Are there 2 EPs up?
There's 2 EPs. One, I was mixing on these horrible speakers, so I boosted the gain of several songs way higher. I need to fix that, but I'll do it eventually.
Yeah,
I
it's
just want
hard.
to finish it. That's my only goal is to finish it.
Yeah. Because you always want to keep it moving. You don't want to like dwell on past things.
Yeah, I kind of do. Because if the songs go hard, I'm like, why make a whole new song when I can just fix the old one and release it?
Yeah. But it's you don't want to get, I don't know. Maybe it's different for me too, because I never have control of mixing the shit.
That's why I don't outsource it. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Then you get a weird mix, and it's like, why is this
20
level?
notes, like emails back and forth, and like the band's listening in the car, and everyone's pissed at me because I'm like, nah, the bass drum doesn't sound right. Or
Word, yeah, that's how it is.
go crazy. Yeah. I also think I've sustained like hearing damage at this point, so I don't know if I should trust my ears anymore.
Oh yeah, I'll test it. I know I have hearing damage to some extent because I've been blasting shit in my headphones from like I was 10.
Like full volume.
Yeah, it's full volume.
Yeah.
That's just what I've been doing. And then in the car, I blasted more. But I'll test the hardware, and I'm like, if it's not cracking, if the gain's not bursted through, then I'm good. And that's usually my barometer of success or viability is that the hardware can handle it at least for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So do you play do you do like rap shows mostly?
No, I'll do like mixed genres. Usually there's no rappers on the bill, whatsoever.
Is there a rap scene in like New Brunswick?
There is. Nobody knows about it. It's all locals, and it exists on Instagram only, basically.
Okay.
It's like SB is one of the artists. He's like the prominent spearhead. He's been doing this shit for like 10 years. Ziggy Zombie is a big one. He brings out a lot. El Bezel.
Okay.
He's another cool dude. Trust is another dude.
All New Brunswick local.
Yeah,
New
they all
Brunswick.
live in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the only guy who bridges the gap. Because they exist, and then there's a bunch of them.
Where do they like play at?
We Sing Sin. They play at shows that I'll book. Usually nobody else knows about them.
Yeah.
Or they'll book them this they'll play above ground shows more often than that. So they played at Chamber 43 the other day.
Oh, okay.
They'll play at Scarlet Pub.
I was
open
gonna say
mics.
I went to a show once at Scarlet Pub, like a rap show. Yeah.
Yeah, they banned me for some reason because I was talking shit on Cook Douglas, who I'm friends with now. I'm friends with their engineer because he saw some of my shit on Instagram. He's like, hey, somebody reached out to me and told me you didn't like the band. I was like, yeah, it's kind of minstrelly, kind of felt kind of racist, the Douglas thing. But I know you guys didn't attend this, and we chopped it up. We became friends, but I'm still banned for saying fuck Cook Douglas on an event.
Yeah, Caroline loves them.
Yeah, she was like, oh, this guy's banned. He's never playing there. I was like, oh.
Wait, how do you think they're being minstrelly? Just like in the performance of their song?
I just saw trumpets and rap and the name Douglas as opposed to Douglas, and I just thought, well, black people are usually painting as thugs. There's no black people in the band, and I'm like, this is kind of a joke because they were like, apparently they weren't aiming at being a parody, but I just saw their music videos and it was like absurd. I was like, what is this? I used to have to see them with my ex because she loved them, because she had a brother who was in a band who played with them a lot, and I had to see them so many times. So I was like, you know what, fuck this band. It's a minstrel band. I might have made some. No, I did not make it up. It's precedented from the jazz scenes like the 1920s where people would wear blackface and they would jump around and do black songs.
Yeah.
Or Mickey Mouse shit.
Do you think it was just like a couple of guys just having fun?
Yeah, it's just a couple guys. I knew that. I was like, there's a couple guys having fun. I was like, I'm just going to be that guy.
At the time, it just rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah, I was like, I just was like, fuck these guys. I didn't like their music at the time.
That's why, I mean, that's a fair opinion to have, too. Like, that's definitely that can be more valid in some ways. So.
Yeah, that's kind of just trolling, too. I just hate on people for no reason. Like Animal Collective, I was just hating on them. I'll just find a reason to criticize because I'm a literary critic and an analytic philosopher, so that's what I'm trained to do, to pick apart things. So I'll do it for fun, and I'll be like, nobody meant harm. Nobody meant harm in this band.
I mean, people should have thick enough skin where they can take it too.
Yeah,
I love criticism. When my friends have something bad to say about something I'm doing, I'm like, please, because I'll be very critical of everything I do, but I'm always open to what people have to say, and I love playing shit for people. And then I don't even need to ask what they think about it sometimes. I'll just see how I feel while they're listening to it.
Yeah,
and
if they're quiet, then I'm like, all right, fuck, I got to change this.
Or if it's a part that's not great, that's coming up and I start sweating. Cause I'm like, damn, this part sucks. That's when I realize, like, oh, this part sucks. Yeah, like, I don't want to show it to people. Why would I want to put it out?
Word, yeah. What fucked me up for the longest time was when people would listen to stuff before I produced it, and I was just choosing the beats randomly, and like, the beat goes hard, yeah, and I'm like, all right, fuck this guy. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm producing my own shit.
Yeah. Do you find that like sometimes people just want to hear a good beat and you can kind of rap bullshit?
Oh yeah, I do. I have a Brazilian friend who loves that one song, Ho Bamba, and she's like, it's so what the hell? It's just like endearing or something. She's like, it's so romantic. And I was like, she's like, I don't understand the lyrics. I was like, yeah, that's good. That's very good. Because people don't. The lyrics are bad in my stuff usually, and I'll do that on purpose, but I'll make the beat very enchanting, so people get wrapped in. And they can't usually. I'll put so much reverb and delay on the vocals that at times it'll be inaudible. But people will usually hear two words, and it'll be the word bitch and nigga. My girlfriend gets mad about that. She's like, I don't like this music. And I'll be like, all right, I'll try more. Because I'm trained in creative writing as well.
Sure.
But I'm just lazy. That's the lazy part. I'll go hard on the instrumentation, but on lyrics, nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
Except when they do care about them and they hate you for it.
Well, it's like the most accessible songs are like kind of surface level in some ways. Just like very accessible. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, so,
no one's gonna pick apart on a 400 level English poetry seminar and be like, here uses the following soliloquy, uses the following poetic device and conceit to do the following, and we're going to extrapolate the following meaning from this. Who's doing that?
Yeah. It's like it's fun. I rap sometimes, like very occasionally, but I was thinking about like what people rap about or like sing about or whatever, and I feel like half the time it's just talking about how awesome they are.
Yes.
There's have you ever heard Milo?
Sadly, yes.
Okay. There's one line. Not a fan.
I don't even remember how his music
it's
sounds.
It's like very rambly, but it's like more, I wouldn't even say rap as much as fucking
spoken word, right?
Yeah, spoken word poetry. But he has a line like, why is your favorite rapper talking about his brand or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Like,
they're not active aware enough to be capitalists. generally, but they're just capitalists half the time. Well, they have reason to be. They're trying to make it out of poverty at times.
Yeah.
Other times they're just trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And the landscape for it has changed a lot, but I mean, if you think of like where it came from, like a lot of it at the time makes sense because it was a reflection of the environment and like the people and stuff, and like that still has its place in the music. It's just like where does the music go after that?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm great. I have money, even if they don't have any money.
Yeah, it's the illusion.
Yeah, I have a rap sheet as some sort of pride thing, or I've done crime successfully. There was one guy who used to rap about never getting killed. He ended up getting killed in an early age. He's like, I never got killed, I never got shot, and I've never got arrested.
I like the line, I've done crimes successfully. Like, I wish that was a real lyric. Just straight up.
Yeah, that's usually it. And they're like, I'm very good at sex. It's like, is anyone fact checking these guys? It's like, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's fucking true.
I'll try to mime that and mock it in my song, so I'll just take it to like a gross heights.
Sure.
And it'll be like, wait a second, this is kind of disturbing at this point. But it'll usually sound good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fun thing. If it sounds good, some people will still like jam out to it.
Yeah, people are like, man, yeah, that shit goes hard.
So you said like you pick apart things a lot, like analyze and critically think. Do you do that like online a bit?
Yes, that's what I'm usually trolling.
Where does that get you?
It gets me a big following with the meme lords.
Okay.
They call it. I don't want to say the name of it because it's like it's a curse word book, but it's a slur. It's a bad slur. But they have other names. Meme book works perfectly fine.
Okay.
But I have a big following there, and they'll see the comments I put on stuff. Like there's one show being canceled on Netflix, and I was like, good. And then everyone got so mad. Like, what do you mean good? Explain that. What's so good about this? And I was like, just is, bro. And then they got
Wait, what show?
It was like some quote-unquote raunchy animal show. And what is it, bestiality? But it was like a cartoon animal show on Netflix where it's all about sex.
Okay, I have no idea.
I have no idea what it was either.
Yeah. I thought that show Big Mouth was weird because it's like about like teenagers going through puberty and like
that's weird. Being
horny and shit. It's
I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I don't want to see horny kids. What the fuck? What's everyone doing? Why are we watching this? Do you find that there's like backlash a lot that you have to like? What? Because you talked about like PR before. Does it feel like a lot to deal with at times?
Yes, it's completely. It's unnecessary at times. There's one person got really mad at me because I have this this meme page. It's supposed to be satirical, and of course, it's like literature. So in literature, there's a lot of words that we don't like and we don't use. I do philosophy of slurs and pejoratives, which is another thing. So when I'm doing that, I have to use these slurs just to exposit and show the effects that they have. So I do these. It's sort of like a social experiment. It sounds great. It sounds dumb, but I'm pursuing a damn PhD.
What's the meme page called?
Nigerian retard department.
Say it one more time.
Nigerian retard department.
Okay, on Facebook?
Yes, so a few friends hate me for that. I was like, come on, just chill, dude. I was like, just chill.
Yeah.
I was like, just chill the fuck out.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, based on just this conversation, it seems like you'll take things like lightly or like on a satirical level when you're wanting to.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Yeah. And I think it's important to have that like sense of humor in some ways.
You have to, and if you don't, it's like an IQ test to an extent, because you're like ruling yourself out. If you can't see the joke, you can't sense the joke, even if you don't agree with it. I'll see a bunch of racist shit. At times it's not funny. I'll be able to empathize to a vague extent. I'm like, if I didn't have the data knowing why this wasn't funny, then I would laugh at it. If I was like dumber or something, then I would think it was funny. But sometimes it is funny. Sometimes racist and funny. And like you just have to be able to be aware of that. And if people can't, like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, this is so ableist. And I'm like, hey, I suffer from disabilities and cognitive disability at times. What are you even talking about? Yeah. It's like you're reifying here. What is this? Because like I find a lot more benefit as opposed to saying something racist, sexist, or ableist. I'll say, hey, this shows evidence of bias. Here we delimit our claims, and we get to the point where it's a tautology. It's true in all cases. That way, it's not wrong. You can't say, oh, this is not cognitively biased. You're saying, hey, if it's racially biased, we're saying if you just said you don't like black people or you don't like when black people do this, then you're saying you're leaning to one side of a seesaw, we can imagine.
Sure.
And here we have a particular race, and on the other side we have everything that's not that race. You just said you don't like when everything that's not that race is not that race. So in other words, you just said you don't like blacks. That just is bias.
When it's summed up to something like that, like
Yeah, you can't argue against that. So if people tell me, hey, what you've shows some sort of bias, I'll be like, yeah, word, but it's pretty damn funny.
So is that what your meme page is like?
Yeah, it's usually like taking a bunch of political or apolitical things or absurdism, because that's the stuff that I focused on in English, was absurdism jokes. And I still do that in philosophy as well. So it'll just be like orangutans, chimpanzees, and then some profound text. And then I'll be like, all right, this is absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, like, and it's funny, and this is gonna sound fucking backwards, but I think like absurdist shit resonates with people in some way.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I don't know if we've hit a wall as like a civilization or like what happened, but it's almost like a way to cope with like nothing makes sense. Like, here's a picture of two fucking monkeys and like some crazy.
Yeah, word. Some Bertrand Russell or Wittgenstein quote on top of it. And I was like, what the hell? Or I like presenting like news facts and news articles. Usually because I'll be looking at like Science Alert and random scientific things. There was one funny one. It just fits. Like the headline is like, damn, we can make fun of racist and anti-scientific people. That sounds bad. But there's one part where it's like, Texas man blames roundabouts for, and this part they put in quotations, or quote unquote tornadoes. And I was like, what? It's absurd. And then the page headline, the page title, Nigerian retard department, just made it better. And I was like, oh yeah, word. I was like, this is anti-scientific stuff. It's not cool. What we're trying to say. And if you use slurs and pejoratives as a way to combat those who use slurs and pejoratives, it's a bit more rhetorically cutting than if you were to say, hey, what you're saying is bad and wrong.
I'm tattling on you.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. I mean, in some cases, fight fire with fire.
Yeah, just fight, dude. I'll just sit there and be like, hey, you've sinned. Because basically that's what you're telling people.
Yeah.
There was a good author, Edmund Spencer. This is where I learned a lot of this shit. And he wrote The Fairy Queen, which is like a precursor outside of Beowulf to Lord of the Rings. Because he was like the beginning of the fantasy genre. This was in the 1600s Renaissance. And what he wrote, he had this sick preface that he wrote to Sir Johnson or something. The guy didn't exist is what people theorized. The person he wrote this long preface to, he just made it himself. And he's like, hey, he was like, I'm writing this because I can't preach a sermon, because if I was going to preach a sermon, nobody's going to listen to a sermon. So I have to wrap it up in all this ungodly Greek and Roman gods to create like a play, because people love plays. And because I can do that, then people are going to read it. He's like, nice. And the guy didn't exist who was writing it too. He just wrote it himself. But it worked. And I was like, I'm going to do shit like that. So I'm going to wrap everything up in jokes. If I want to convey a message, I'll do it backwardsly. And you'll have to be able to read to get it.
Sure.
But if people can't read, then they're just going to see a name. And they'll be like, oh, he used the R word. What an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think there's been like a resentment to people, like, quote unquote, call out people, or like people on the left. Like, you have people like calling people snowflakes and shit like that. So there's a resentment to people who are too morally just and virtue signaling all the time. And I think like a proper backlash to the people that are going after quote unquote snowflakes would be to, like I said, fight fire with fire. Like, yeah,
I usually just curse them out. I'll be mean to them, or ridicule. Ridicule works very well. They'll get angry. But if they don't know it's ridicule at times, if they're just a part of the joke and you befriend them, befriending usually works well. If you can introduce, I'll have a bunch of people who are on the right, and then they'll be introduced just by my usage of memes and esoteric jokes.
Yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna
get
the whole spectrum of people with shit like that. Yeah,
and they're introduced to leftist politics.
Yeah,
and they're like, this guy's not a liberal. This is on the left, and they'll get like, okay, I don't really hate this as much as I hate liberals. And they'll be all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, common ground, I think, is important in, like, a dialogue in some way. It can't just be, like, two polarized sides. Like, I'm telling on you.
Yeah, word.
I'm telling on you.
Who are you telling?
Yeah.
Like, you're telling to yourself.
Yeah. Like, to the mob, everyone's got their pitchforks ready.
Call you out.
Yeah.
On the internet.
But where do you see this shit ending? Like, do you think this like call out culture?
Probably the imminent destruction of the planet.
Oh, like yeah, grand scheme, yeah, for sure. But do you think people will ever play nice?
Then I don't think they're smart enough to do it. Maybe if they had a primary school education.
Yeah.
Because
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, they don't. But they do. They're all in college.
Yeah.
A lot of them are young. It's not clear what classes they're taking. I would like to take a class because there was a recent call out of a kid I knew from childhood, and now I'm not really associated with him at all. Cause I don't live near him.
Yeah.
I never really hung out with him too much. But what I tasked, this probably wasn't the best. It was just kind of autarkic of me, or like in my own world. But I was like, so I was thinking of, his name is not Dick Cheney. I know his name. What the hell? There's a professor of law in the Rutgers philosophy, Dean Huzak, in the philosophy department. And his thing was about criminal rehabilitation. He was talking about prisons. I analogized it with call-outs. And like, well, what do you think we should do with these people after they're called out and they're censured for some sort of crime? What do you want us to do exactly?
Yeah.
I was like, can we rehabilitate this person? Is that wrong? Because they were making it such that if you even thought about this person, then you've done wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if that's ethically right. I was like, I don't know if that lines up.
The only concern people have are deplatform them and take away their things.
That's it. That seems fair.
Yeah.
But people have pushed it further. They're like, this dude can't have a job. I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm a random stranger. I was going through some stuff at the time, so some people were, I guess, sad that I didn't stand on a soapbox and denounce this person. But I was literally hospitalized at the time. I was literally in a hospital. Yeah. So I was like, and I came out, I was like, I really don't want to be bothered by any of this. I'm a complete total stranger.
Yeah.
But I guess I have some clout. But I was like, all right, dude, I kind of don't
say your piece.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a random stranger.
I mean, like, I think, like, considering, I was thinking about this recently, but like the 90s people got like super nostalgic about, but there was so much injustice and like fucked up things going on and everywhere. But like as far as people being like predators too and shit, so like I think call culture was important because it had to let people know like, yo, you can't just keep fucking doing this.
Yeah, word. I like it to an extent.
Yeah, I think
I'm just a critic.
I think people might get carried away in some cases. But that's just how they're feeling at the time, and I can't invalidate how people feel.
Yeah, totally, you can't. That's good. Calling out people is good because you don't want a bunch of random predators roaming about.
Yeah.
Once they're known, that like primes me, so I don't bring them around people. I don't even associate with these people. I never did in the past.
Yeah.
But I always wonder about what can we do on the criminal reform thing. That's what I wonder about. But that's not really the most compelling to people who are just like trying to stay alive and trying to avoid predators on the daily basis.
Well, the fucking, like, the prison complex in America is fucked.
That's bad. Yeah.
Terribly.
That's what usually more interesting to me. I'm like, yeah, we can, if the person's not going to jail, what can we do to avoid future recurrence? To me, the most compelling idea is not destroy the person's life. This might, well, no. You want to
bring him back to the shit that got him in there.
Yeah, this might just continue doing what they're doing. Just go. There's one guy, I don't remember who he was, but he fled. He fled to East Asia or something, and he continued being a maniac over there. Theoretically, I don't know the guy. I never met him, but I feel like whenever I say shit like that, I feel like Donald Trump. But
I've heard this thing.
Yeah, I never met him, but I think there should be. I think somebody should be like, hey, dude. I told the one guy when he got called, I was like, get a therapist, dude. Go to this therapist. Yeah, get fucking help, dude. Don't do what you've done.
Yeah, I'm all for like justice, right? But is there any compassion for the person on the other end? And if so, when? I'm not saying always. I'm not saying everyone should be forgiven always.
Oh yeah, I don't even care about forgiving.
But it's just like how do you navigate the path of that person after? Like, what's the plan?
I was like, if you want to kill the person, that's not clear that would do anything except murder them.
Yeah. I mean, like, I still feel like rapists should get their ass beat.
Yeah, word. Sure. I'm down with that.
Like, yeah, definitely, like, kick their ass. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard, and I hope I'm not coming off as like an apologist or anything. No, but like, I just don't.
I hope so as well.
Yeah, it's just tricky. What do you? Oh shit. All right, we're good. I'll call him after. What do you think about the election?
The election, I think Bernie is good for what he must be. It's not going to be like, hey, I'm going to destroy the entire... There's that one guy. I think he is the shining star of the entire thing.
Did you watch the debates last night? Or
I watched a recap. That was it.
Yeah, I caught like half of it. Yeah.
Word. But I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like Andrew Yang. I kind of don't like... Because I operate in donuts as a philosopher. I don't like anyone. I like Bernie Sanders just because he's Bernie Sanders.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I like Elizabeth Warren seems like the same policies as Sanders, like a more pragmatic way of doing it, or a way that will like use the system in a democratic process or whatever. Biden, I think Trump will dunk on him badly.
Yeah, he'll die.
Get fucked up, man.
Like the Joker versus the Joker wannabe.
Yeah.
Joker versus Joker 2.
And I think any institutional fucking Democrat, I think, will just not have a chance because they'll just be roped in with the DNC. And
totally, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch it unfold because the country is literally split into two.
Totally, yeah. So. Well, the world lies in the hands of the white voter yet again. So we'll see what they do this time.
Damn, that's kind of fucking true. It's wild. I mean, voter turnout was like 54 or 56%.
Yeah, the non-voters handed it to Trump.
Yeah.
So let's hope they do it again. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, there's a ton of like voter suppression too, and like people in low-income areas that don't have a car and like can't get voter IDs.
That stuff is rough. You think at this point they just have an online voting system,
dude? Right? Fuck, if we can vote for American Idol by texting,
totally, yeah.
Why can't they just hook that up?
Not documented. It's
all
the
bullshit.
Country's bad. The country's bad.
Yeah.
The United States is bad. I said it on mic. I'll be deported or something. I was born here, lived here all the time. So
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about being sent to internment camp.
Yeah.
Concentration camp.
Yeah.
So imagine everyone's listening to this and everyone's very scrupulously noting everything I said. Like, oh, Radcliffe.
Yeah, they're taking notes for when they have to take you down.
Yeah.
This is it. This will be our downfall.
Word.
I'm waiting for my call out for whatever the fuck I did. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I got called out for dumb shit.
Yeah.
Called out for leaving a heart eyes emoji once. That was the same thing I was telling you about. That's how the person was like, you were trying to get me for years. I was in a relationship as well. I was like, you were commenting heart eyes on my stuff. That was the same person who said let's hang out in private so we can have sex, essentially.
Yeah, it gets tricky. Yeah,
it's rough. But I got called out for that. I was like, oh damn.
For a heart eyes emoji.
Yeah, like he left a heart eyes emoji once, or probably because I have an eidetic memory as well. I probably left 2, maybe 3 maximum heart eyes emojis in over 3-year period.
Okay.
To a friend who used to tell me routinely, let's have sex.
Sure.
And then I got called out for that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
I'll just put my hands up.
I guess their feelings changed on it.
Yeah. As soon as I called their friend out, I called their friend out. That usually doesn't happen. People don't call each other out for racism.
Yeah.
I was the only dude doing it. And they're like, yo. But it kind of worked. Everyone was like, yo, it's just Radcliffe. And
yeah.
Like, yo, he's kind of chill-ass dude.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, weird, yeah.
Well, cool, man. It seems overall that you're pretty thoughtful, well-spoken. You know?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, so.
Finally get to finish my college stuff. Because I'm doing the philosophy, English. And then hopefully I'll just do philosophical stuff at the professorial level. Public intellectual is my goal. Cool. So I can just say random shit like this and just be heard to an extent. And that, I don't like, well, never mind. I'm going to stop there.
All you can hope to do is educate people, bring them together in some way.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
Totally.
Cool. All right, let's wrap this shit.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Totally.